And I say, why not kick it off 5 minutes early just because we can, one of those things. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to DoMoreLife. If you're not a subscriber, you probably should be. I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. We're going to talk about some cool stuff today, specifically the allure of Thailand to travelers, vacationers, tourists all over the world, and things you won't generally hear about Thailand from expats. So, kind of do a deep dive. Then we're going to have a little open discussion, and we can certainly talk about my comments and what I read or what I say during this live stream. This is not going to come from notes. What's up, Mr. Mitch? Good to see you, and good to see Asia Unscripted and Philthos and Cody and everybody that's normally in the live streams. Good to see you guys already in here. Really appreciate it. Hey, Griffin, excellent to see you. Thank you again for yesterday, brother. Absolutely awesome. Red says, hey, Jeremy, you still out there, bro? Yes, sir. I sure am. Hey, Lyle, good morning to you. I am still pouring over the internal gratitude for you. And I forgot to mention the Norwegian who gave the super chat yesterday. So I wanted to thank him in case he sees this video. But I forgot to thank him at the end of the live stream yesterday. Yes, that does sound great. I was thinking about cornbread this morning for some reason. I had it on my mind. Philthos is just like, yeah, I can get blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous. What's up, Gerald? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for dropping by. My plan for today, let me tell you what my plan for today is, just so you guys know. Mango, what's up, man? My plan for today is to, explain the allure of Thailand and tell you things that you won't hear from most expats. Two, when I'm done with this live stream and I've got it all fixed up and pretty and everything in the background, then I'm going to jump straight into editing week 1 episode. So it'll be like, I'm going to do this in seasons. So it'll be season 1, episode 1 of life, living and working in Thailand as an expat. I'm going to work on that today. Later on in the week, I'm going to do my very bestesses. That's not a word, but, I'm an English teacher, so I get to say things like that. Do my very bestesses to make sure that I get some additional footage and some pictures that have not been shown on my Instagram, Facebook, or anywhere else. I'm going to get that to my channel members. And probably have a live stream with channel members at some point in time over between now and the next 10 days. So that's what's going on. That's what's coming up. If you're not a channel member, you probably should be. It's only $2.99 a month. Very cheap. And you get early access to pretty much everything except the videos to come out. Now, the allure of Thailand. So I want to be clear about what I say here, because I talk some really good stuff. After dark. I know you're waiting on that live stream, Gerald. We're definitely gonna get there, brother. But the allure of Thailand is always the beaches, the cost of living, or the inexpensiveness, I'll say, the cheapness, the quality for the price you pay over here in Thailand. And I will also say that, of course, if you're coming as a tourist, or if you're coming as an expat to stay for a long time, again, this doesn't apply to everybody, but to the vast majority of people. you're probably coming looking for a woman in one form or another, whether that be in Pattaya, Phuket, or you're looking to go to the villages up in Isan or somewhere else. Plenty of villages all over Thailand. Your intent is going to match the allure. So whatever the allure is to you is probably what's going to be your driving force for coming over here. If it's women, it's women. If it's golf, then it's golf. We have great golf courses over here. If it's traveling and exploring, then it's going to be traveling and exploring. You're going to see whatever you like to do most in life. That's what you're going to see in Thailand. Thailand has that big of a range to offer to people, and it is absolutely, it's just amazing that all that stuff. No, it's not. Sorry to say that. Addie says, morning from Australia. We had our Aussie Rules football grand final yesterday. Cool, man. Hope you enjoyed that. So some of the basic allures of Thailand, as I was talking about, are the beaches, the women, the weather. Weather's a big one, especially if you're retirement age. Weather seems to be a big contributor because if you've had any problems, hey, Roger, good to see you, brother. Thank you for dropping in this morning. I'm glad you're here. But the weather seems to be a huge, how do I say this? A huge allure of for older retirees because they don't have to worry about, a lot of people when they get older have had a knee replacement or they've had a screw put in somewhere. Hey, Eric, good to see you this morning. A screw in the wrist or you got a metal plate somewhere, that kind of thing. Hey, Prep for it. Good to see you, brother. You guys be sure to hit that thumbs up button as you come in. I can see it right now. We got 9. I forgot to hit the button to change so you could see it. Sorry about that. But the all of those are great allures if you want to come and retire in Thailand. They're also great allures if you just want to come to Thailand, period. Thailand has a diverse range of culture within it. Yesterday, we talked about the 10 best practices for understanding the cultural values of Thailand. And I thought that was a great live stream yesterday. We had a great live stream, and Addie, I hear you, bud, on your comment over there. But nevertheless, there is a huge allure to Thailand. There's a huge allure to places like Pattaya. There's a huge allure to places like Phuket, and to certain areas of Bangkok that follows a certain type of person. Okay, then you have areas such like let's see, the hot weather is also great training for those of us going to. That's a good one, Phil Thomas. I like that. Good one. Matthew says, hey, JC, is the video where you filmed your Monday to Friday vlog style up for members yet? No, it's actually, I'm going to edit it today. I haven't even edited it yet, and I'm going to be releasing it tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow morning my time, so it'll be 6:45 roughly a.m. my time, so about 7:15 p.m. your time. That video will go up, and I explained to the members why we didn't have a members only watch party on that one yet, and that's simply because I need to get out as much content as possible. Here towards the end of October, we've had some good, some really good fortunes as of late and want to make sure we make October as special as September was, because we probably won't quite get there, but it's still going to be a very successful October. I have a good feeling. I really have a good feeling. You guys are doing great. Are you experienced? What's up, brother? He says, okay, I'm here. Let's party. Good to see you, man. So, what are other allures of Thailand? I haven't been to places like Krabi or Koh Samui or Koh Chang yet, but I have been to places like Koh Samet, Hua Hin, Pattaya. I spent a lot of time in Pattaya. Rayong. I spent a lot of time in Rayong. Oh, Matthew, welcome. We got a new channel member there. Excited to see it. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Thank you so very much. Very, very much. I really appreciate you joining up to the family. You now have access to the library of stuff that's already in there. If you want to go check the community tab for members only, you're more than welcome to. And jump in there and go look at some video, or I made 2 videos so far for channel members. Go check it out, man. But thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. And the family welcomes you, I'm sure. Eddie said you can do many things as activity in Thailand that you cannot do in the West. West has too many regulations. Eric says, what kinds of things, Eddie? That's interesting. There you go. And yes, all the welcome party comes out for Matthew, and I'm very glad that you're a part of the family, man. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Our experience says Allures of Thailand, beaches, temples, and lady. Yep, there are more. Mr. Mitch says climbing on ruins. That's also something that this is a photographer's paradise. And what I was getting to is I haven't been to all the places I want to go. Now we have a November trip coming up where I'm going to have about at least 8 days off. Okay, and we're planning for it right now. The channel fund is helping me plan for it. And we're going to go somewhere. We might go to somewheres. I don't know. It depends on how much the flights cost, because I will probably take a flight, as it will be most likely just as cheap as taking a cab. And I would much rather fly. I love to fly. For those of you that don't know, I have no problem getting on an airplane and going up. No issue with that. Put me on an airplane for 15 hours, I'm cool. Can't use the C word, Rocco. Sorry, buddy. But you make a very good point there. I know this is your first time in here, and or it seems to be your first time in here, but can't use the C word. However, you did make a good point. I'd be interested to see the same thing. Addie says, there you go. You can ride free on bot bus and back, no regulations, but in West cannot be in the back of a vehicle without seatbelt. Yeah, that's true. I don't think Cody woke up yet from yesterday. I don't know if he did either. He woke up because he had the very first comment in this chat, and it was from a movie or something. I don't know. It was like, if you ain't first, you last. And I think that's from where was that from? Hang on, I'll tell you the movie. I'll go back up here. Ricky Bobby. That was leave it to Cody, man. Mr. Mitch says you can go to a candy store, buy some candy, eat the candy, even bring it back the next day. Try that in the U.S. That's a good one, man. So the allures of Thailand are the things that are touristry, in my opinion. This is, by the way, this is an opinion. live stream. This is not a. I'm not going to. Talladega Nights is the movie, and the character was Ricky Bobby. Thank you. Are you experienced? That's correct. But this is just an opinion piece, and I'm looking for your opinions as well in the comments. So what happens is, this is what I was talking about, things you won't hear from expat. But before I jump into that, I want to reiterate the natural beauty of Thailand by me has yet to be discovered. And here's why. This is a good segue into what you won't hear from expats many times. If you're an expat like me, okay, I'm not retired. I work a 9-to-5 job. Actually, the hours are a little bit worse than that, but I'm a teacher, and teachers don't really make good money over here unless you've got, master's degrees or degrees in education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, my bachelor's degree is in health communication, so it doesn't really do a lot for me over here. Eddie says, I can have fun in Thailand and no one cares, but West, everyone judges. Yeah, you can have fun over here. That's true. But people, judgmentalness is still a part of the culture. That's been my experience living here for 2.5 years. However, it's to your point, it's very low. It's very rare that you get super judged by the Thais. One thing that expats find out is dating in the Philippines tends to be a little bit easier than dating in Thailand, unless you're in a nightlife area. Then we're talking about a whole different kind of dating. So for you new guys that came in, hit that thumbs up button. I'm looking at 14, and try to get 50 today. Try to get 50 thumbs up. That would be really nice. So I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. When I get off work, it's not like I can catch a plane to Kirby and go down there and just shoot video all night, not sleep, get on the plane, at 3 a.m., come back to Bangkok, get a shower, go to work. It doesn't happen like that. And these are things that most expats won't tell you, because most of the expats that are over here, most of them are either retired or they're here. They did a much better job in life than I did. They saved their money well. They put their money back in, or they invested their money in either themselves or stocks or something that yielded a good return. They also had the foresight to make sure that they were going to be financially stable. Now, I do know expats that come over here. They'll come over for 3 to 6 months at a time, and then they'll go back to their home country and work for 3 to 6 months and save up the money to come back for three to 6 months. I think that's fantastic, especially when you're younger. It's probably going to get a little bit harder as you get older to do that, because obviously you want some savings. But to be able to come over here and live comfortably as a tourist is not that difficult. To be able to come over here, get a job, get the visas, get the work permit, deal with immigration. When I say deal with them every 90 days, that's a 90-day check-in that you have to do for your visa. And anybody on a visa extension is going to have to do a 90-day check-in. You just go to immigrate, and now you can do it online. So it's very simple. It's just an address check-in to make sure that your TM30, which is the form that immigration has on where your permanent address is here, matches. That's pretty much what a 90-day check-in is. But these things get redundant, and getting visas over here, while if you understand the nature of the immigration system and you want to start getting these long stay visas or extensions of stay on certain type of visas, it becomes, I don't want to say a headache, but it becomes laborious. You do have to put a lot of footwork into it. And is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. Absolutely, 100%. But a lot of people won't tell you, they'll only tell you about I went to the beach and Coastal Net or whatever. They won't tell you about I came over. What's up, Alan? Good to see you, man. Hadn't seen you in a while, bud. They won't tell you everything that you actually need to know. It's in terms of if you want to come over here and stay, because a lot of people come to Thailand and they want to stay in Thailand after they get here, and they come as tourists, but they don't have any idea how to stay here. Pretty much the only way you can stay here, if you're less than 50, you got a couple options. You got a smart visa, which is like a visa for hierarchy. I would not necessarily hierarchy. You got investments, you got technology in there, and a few other things. Kind of hard to get, especially for someone like me who doesn't necessarily have the skill set for that. So a smart visa is an option if you're under 50, but it's not really an option for me. So your only other option really is a volunteer visa, but that gets you a work permit. Hey, Philippine cowboy, good to see you, brother. It's you can get a volunteer visa, but a work permit's required with that. And you're probably not going to get too many extensions on a volunteer visa, I don't think. You can get an education visa. Education visa, they're scrutinizing pretty hard. Hey, Lee. And then you can get if you have to work, that all those visas are assuming that you have plenty of money coming in from wherever your home country is. If you have to work over here in Thailand, then you're going to have to get a non-B visa and a work permit. So you have to find a job, and that job will sponsor your non-B visa. So those are some of the things that you don't hear about, and that's when it gets kind of quirky for people my age, or sometimes even retirees. Let me catch up the comments real quick. Filtho says, one allure for me is the tremendous entrepreneurial spirit there. Everyone is hustling, but in a good, not obnoxious way, like America used to be. I agree with that. There are street food vendors everywhere. There are small businesses everywhere over here. I mean, from motorbike repair shops to cleaning services to when I say cleaning, I mean like laundry, right? Laundry services. There's and I have a maid that comes every other week. She's less than I think last weekend when she came, it cost me 500 baht, which was about $15, and she was here about 2.5 hours. No, about 2.5 hours cleaning. So super cheap, right? Cost of living is a very important factor for many expats as they come over here. So I agree with that, Philthos. There's lots of small businesses. Addie says, I tried to get retirement visa done by myself. Too much stress. You need help from other expats or visa companies. Yes, you do. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You can get these visas by yourself without having an agent, but you're probably going to run into a lot of hiccups because the paperwork is there's so much scrutiny on the paper. Like everything has to be perfect. Once you learn how to get everything perfect, then it becomes easy to get the visa, to stay updated on your current visa, all of that stuff. It gets a ton easier. I can't tell you how much easier it gets. Alan says, do you know if you can fly from Singapore to Thailand? Singapore Airlines will start flying direct from NY on November 4th, 2020. I do not know about Singapore. I am not sure about Singapore. That is one country I cannot answer that question, Alan. I'm not sure. They've just begun to let in. I just saw a video this morning where they let in, or the management company for the elite visa let in supposedly 500 visa elite visa holders, or are going to let in 500 elite visa holders. And apparently, there was some other problem with the, or they let in, I think it was 47 or 51, somewhere in that neighborhood, Chinese tourists. And that's really all I've heard about people coming in to Thailand right now. If Todd comes in here, we'll ask him. Let's see. Addie says retirement visa, you have to be 50 years old. Yes, that's true. That's why. I'm not on one, or I couldn't be on one anyway because I don't have enough revenue coming in to support myself without a job. So it wouldn't retirement visa at this point. I got a 10-year plan, guys. Y'all have heard my 10-year plan. I got a 10-year plan. Let's see. I'm gonna get to your comment in a second, Roger. That's very interesting. Mr. Mitch says, "Our experience, do you plan on retiring in Thailand, going back and forth?" That's a good question. Glenn, enjoy. Can't wait to see Thailand. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that. Dino, what's up, man? Good to see you, bud. And Roger says, integrity law firm quoted me $1,700 for a retire visa. You should do that because they will handle all the paperwork for you, and that is not a bad price for having somebody to do the paperwork for you. That they're not an agency. That, like you obviously know, they're a law firm and respected about that. Our experience says he's going to retire over here. Mr. Mitch says, I think there's a couple of flights per week from Singapore to Bangkok, but this was before the event. Gotcha. Philippine Cowboy says, I know you got, I'm losing the comments. Hang on. Philippine Cowboy says, I know you guys are talking about the retirement visa there. I just came into chat. So does anyone know how the amount one has to show to get that visa? To the best of my knowledge, it's still, if you're a single person, you have to either show 65,000 baht a month coming in for a duration, I believe, of 3 months. And then to get your extension of stay, or you can put 800,000 Thai baht in a bank in Thailand that you really can't touch. You can touch it after you get the visa, but it's got to be back up there for your next check-in, which is going to be in 90 days. So really, you're going to be leaving 800,000 baht in the bank all the time, pretty much. And that's the only way to get the visa that I am aware of as a single person. As a married person, I believe that drops to 40 or 45,000 baht, and each month coming in, or 400,000 baht. So being married and having a retirement visa, or not being married, being I guess it would be being married, right? Marriage visa, retirement visa. Let me get back to you on that one because retirement visas are not my 100%. That's not the category that I typically know the best. Philippine Cowboy, my apologies. Mr. Mitch says, thanks, Don. I'm still formulating my plan due to the chaos the last few years, and my hope is to retire there. Oh, yeah, you'll be able to. Stuck, what's up, man? Good to see you. I hope you got to see some SpaceX. My dad sent me some pictures of it. He's down there in Florida. and sent me some pictures of it this morning when I woke up. I saw it. Pretty cool looking stuff. Philippine Cowboy says, I will be 50 this coming March. Well, no time like the present to plan it out. The only thing is, with the current events going on, and I do mean more events than just the worldwide event stuff, make sure that you have everything prepped. I would recommend going Rogers route, which is Integrity Legal, respected law firm here in Bangkok. They're not a visa agent, so I'm sure they would be more than happy to help you with your retirement visa. Prayer for it says, when I first visited, I had to be close to Walking Street, but soon I realized that there was so much more to Thailand: culture, food, happy people, and amazing scenery, etc. And a lot of people find that out. I mean, I found that out myself when I lived in Rayong for 16 months. Okay, and in those 16 months I lived in Rayong, just about every weekend I would travel to Pattaya. I made friends there. Of course, I had friends in the hotels there. I had friends in the nightlife industry. I had a lot of friends in Pattaya, and still do, by the way. But I would go there pretty often, and the allure of that setting just kind of went away after. You can only record so many videos about Pattaya and keep it interesting. I mean, there are vloggers that do, night scenes and vlog from inside the bars and that kind of thing. And I say more power to them, because that's not really, I don't know. I have an opinion on that. I'm going to leave it at that. Our experience says, I qualify for the retirement visa. Well, when you coming, brother? Everybody's saying, hey, it's stuck. Addie says, I'm paying visa company next time I pay them to deal with immigration, because too tired dealing with immigration. Will pay visa company to release the stress. 30,000 Aussie in bank for 3 months. I hear you, brother. I don't blame you. That's good. Mac Lex, how we can live as a retiree in Bangkok on $7,500 US a month. And you can live however you want, $7,500 a month. Unless you're looking to rent out a $5,000 a month condo, you should have no problem at all being able to come to Bangkok, live as comfortable as you want, travel as much as you want, do as much as you want. That's an enormous sum of money for Southeast Asia. Let's see. Yeah, like a king, basically. Our experience. Everybody's going to tell you really good. And Philippines says good. I'm covered. Good. I'm glad we helped with that. Mr. Mitch says, oh, it's 7C and raining here. Aw. Cold and rainy. That's terrible. Alan Harris says, so 100,000 USD is enough for a retirement visa. I didn't do the conversion myself, but whatever, 800, we can do it real quick. Give me 1 second, and I will gladly do it with you. 800, 1, 2, 3, done. So after you buy, you have to have health insurance, I'm pretty sure now, to get a retirement. Well, I think you had to have it before, but now you got to have, like 100,000. You got to have a Thai insurance policy that covers 100,000 USD in case of it. 800,000 baht is $25,529 US as of today. So I would say that 100,000 USD, because you're going to find a insurance company like my insurance company. My policy is only 34. I have two policies, an emergency and a hospital and doctors, and it's 34 thousand baht a year with no deductible and a lot of good stuff in it. So I would say $100,000 would be quite enough, definitely. Now let's see what we got going on down here. Addie says, "Yep, 30,000 Aussie and Thai bank for 3 months. Show immigration must have bank statement to prove." That's true. There's Rocco again. He says, "I spent There's Ross. He can tell you all that about retirement. He can explain all that to you. I spent 4 to 5 months per year in Thailand last 2 years being a landlord. It suited me great. Just can't see it as viable to invest or settle there." I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that one, Rocco. I think you might be able to get by with it, to be honest with you. Ross says retirement 65,000 a month or 800 bank. Retirement 45,000 monthly or 400 can. Hard to get certificate of monthly income these days. U.S. Embassy not giving anyone. Understood. Good to see you in the house, by the way, Ross. Yeah, it's about $25,000. Talking to Alan there. Whoa, I got way behind. Hey, Big C. Good to see you, man. Eddie says, "I got a statement from Aussie Embassy to show immigration went to embassy in Bangkok and back to Pattaya. That did not work out. Thus, I gave up." Alan says, "Thanks." That's awesome. Let's see. Steak in Florida says you can get a gorgeous penthouse for $2,500 a month in Bangkok. Yes, you can. That's true. As says, lots of cheap Charlies look for balloons for birthday parties, thus free food. That's interesting. Okay, I don't know what Stuck's talking about there, but I'm sure he does. Robert says, Robert Nagel. I hope I pronounced that right. Greetings from Flagstaff. Greetings to you. Roger says, "No secrets in the family, Stuck." I like that. Watched a few minutes on my lunch break. Cool. We don't talk about politics at all in here, Alan. That's a fair question, but we don't leaving that out. Ross says he's talking to Rocco. Says depending on what you invest, there are some things worth investing in. It helps to have a trusting type partner. I would agree with that 100%. They're alive, fun times. No problem, Alan. No problem. Eddie says Stuck was joking that he is a cheap Charlie. Stuck's not a cheap Charlie. We all know Stuck's not a cheap Charlie. He's made out of money. It's all good. I'm just kidding. What I was getting back to and what I was alluding to, I'm gonna let you guys talk about that in the comments. What I was alluding to was, those are some of the things that you don't typically hear from expats. Like, unless you start the actual planning and the motivation to move over here and stay, as I explained earlier, with all the different types of visas, it can be complicated. I know if I ever have to get a visa outside of a school, because the school does pretty much everything for me. I have had to make a visa run twice because I've taught at 2 schools. Oh, we got some PayPal money. Some PayPal money is coming in. Thank you guys so much. Let's see what we got going on here. What do we have today? Wow, we got 20 coming in from Mr. I won't put your name up there because you haven't told me if I could or not, but he was a guy that showed up earlier in the stream. Thank you so very much for the 20. I appreciate that. And we have a 10. I'll make sure there's no note attached, okay? And this guy didn't show up either, but there's the 10 from him. So $30 start to the day, guys. That's great. That is fantastic. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Truly. Really appreciate that. Contributions go a long way around here. And we certainly appreciate it. The channel appreciates it as much as I do, the members of the channel, and not just channel members, but the people that enjoy the content that comes out off this channel. So I'm just ready for November to get here so I can get back to my regular, what I used to do, which is travel vlogging. And that's going to be awesome. Let's see here. Max. MacLex said, I kicked in $10 to your PayPal. Appreciate your channel. Well, thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate that. That was the $10 one then. And I'm glad I didn't show your name. Robert says we got $40 left to reach the goal. We got $30, right? Robert? I think that's it. Well, hang on. Here comes 10 more from my main man, Mr. Roger McGee. Roger McGee. 10 more. 10 more. That gives us 40. So that's, if we're talking about channel goals down there, Robert, yeah. You think you messed up on the math, but it's all good. Thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. Need to look into property stumbling block. That's true. Eddie says plan is monthly visa, then go for 3-month visa, then allowed to apply for retirement visa age 50. You can do that. But a laundromat, 6 machines cost about 50,000 baht, and all machines bring in over 10,000 baht a month in profit for doing nothing. Cool. Hang on one second. I want to make sure I get this comment down here. All right, good. Good. Wasn't moving, was it? No, it wasn't. Okay. Addie says, thus far, I spend a month in, I spend a month in Pattaya. I then have to apply for 3-month visa, but make sure 30,000 Aussie and Thai bank account, thus have to live with 3-month visa before retirement visa. Yeah, so everybody does that. When I get a non-B visa, if I change jobs or whatever, the non-B that I get is a 90-day non-B visa. So I have 90 days of lawful status. Now, what happens is they give you that 90-day status so that the company that you're working for has time to get your actual non-B. So during that 90 days, they get your non-B approved because you have to get criminal background checks and all this other stuff has to happen. And they get your non-B approved. You go pick it up. I mean, you go to immigration to request it, and then you go to immigration for to pick up your visa, non-B visa. And after that, if you're on non-B, you'll get a work permit as well. Let's see here. Philippine Cowboy says 40 or 400 in bank for time visa. I see. Roger McGee says PP has changed. It's getting to you almost instantaneously. I know. I can't explain it. I don't know what happens. But the PayPal's are coming. When they do come through, they come through pretty quick, and that's awesome because at least the people that send them don't have to worry about whether or not the channel actually got the money. It's a good thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool, Roger. Ross says you just have to be careful in what industries you invest in. You would have a hard time with real estate without a Thai partner. You would be limited to condos only. That's a fair point. Robert says typed it wrong. 555. No problem, man. Philippine Cowboy, it's much easier to have the 400K just earn interest in the bank. Philippine Cowboy, that's if you're married. Let's see. Rocco's talking to Ross says, no doubt there's a steady income to be made, but I'm still a bit yeah, to a tie. Okay, Addie, I would never invest in any industry in Thailand to be safe. That's just me being private in retirement. Well, if you don't need to invest, then there's no reason to invest. Stuck in Florida says, Philippine Cowboy, there are ways to split that up to you a certain amount in the bank and a certain amount monthly, but I'm not sure on the exact amounts. Ross says, I've lived here 6 years. It's still hard for foreigners to earn substantial investment incomes in the kingdom. The rules and red tape can be very challenging. See? Things you don't normally hear from most expats, right? Stuck in Florida, Philippine Cowboy, sorry using voice text while I'm walking. That's all right. What are you walking for at 10:30 at night? Stuck. I don't want to know. I'm just kidding. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. But the Allure of Thailand is something that I want to kind of get back on topic here because we've gotten off a little bit. The Allure of Thailand is something that it didn't bring me here, but it has kept me here. And it's like I tell everybody, they're like, oh, you're leaving Thailand. We're going to run you out of Thailand. No, and no. I'm going to stay in Thailand, and I'm going to find a way to build enough income for myself. I mean, we only got, next Tuesday starts the 10-year plan, boys. So, got 10 years to make myself enough wealth to retire and be happy and have enough money coming in. And I don't have to have a lot of money. That's the big thing. Have enough money coming in to support myself and support my needs as I travel. Please hit the thumbs up button if you hadn't already. Let me just throw that in there. Let's see. Starting to think about Vietnam here lately. A lot of people are, Philippine Cowboy. I've even thought about making a trip over there just to see what it's like, but it's going to be a while before all the travel and everything gets back to normal, let's just say. 48% of a business has to be part owned by a Thai. Not necessarily. Well, I don't know. You're Australian. That may be true. Filtho says possible exception for needing a Thai partner for ownership is if from USA and investing over $200,000 due to U.S. free trade agreements. Ross says Gordon's alive and I were talking about this yesterday. The most important thing is to have enough money to sustain the life you have and not the one you want. I think that's a fair statement, but at the same time, I want to sustain a life that makes me happy, completely, thoroughly, and all the way around. And the only way I'm going to do that is to be able to make money for myself. under nobody else's control and do what I do what I do for a living. And I agree with you that that doesn't really have to be a certain dollar amount. It just has to be what I want to do. Roger says, I got durian chips in a package from a lady friend today. They're not bad. Good for you, man. I'm not a big fan of durian, but if you like durian, go for it. Let's see. Stuck in Florida says Vietnam was tightening up on their visas before it happened. Yes, that's very true. They were. They did tighten up on their visas, specifically their tourist and business visas. So I don't know what that's going to look like afterwards. I know that teachers there make better money than they do at on average than they do here in Thailand. So we'll see what happens there. Mango Sticky Rice says Vietnam has no type of retirement visas. That's interesting. All right, I'm not going to keep reading about investments and all that stuff. I'll let you guys talk to each other over there because that's definitely not what we're trying to get into here. Let me just catch up on all the comments. The only place you would be happy is Ho Chi Minh City, in my opinion, JC. You very well could be right. Yeah, Ross. I agree with that statement. What I mean is living within your means. 100% agree. 100% agree. I talked about this on the live stream yesterday and how important it was, and how I keep learning more and more to do just that, living within your means. And that's something else you won't hear when you hear the Allure of Thailand. You won't hear anything about living within your means. You'll hear about you can do this for only this much money. You can do this for only this much money. And that's something to consider and take into consideration, I feel like, if you want to come over and stay. If you're a tourist or a vacation, and Thailand tourism is going to be popping again. Hopefully not in the far future, but in the near future. That's something we're all waiting to see what happens. And personally, as a tourism location, Thailand's pretty much got everything you need. Let me get a drink, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. I didn't catch Filthos's comment, but whatever he said, I'm sure it was about correct. Okay, Stuck said, yeah, Ho Chi Minh City. You're probably right, Stuck, and you know me. I mean, you know what I like to do and the way I like to live. So, Ho Chi Minh City would be the first place I would visit. Also, one of my good friends has told me that going to Ho Chi Minh City is a great option for or would be a great option for someone like me. So evidently, my personality just kind of bleeds through, and people know, which is cool with me. Philippine Cowboy says, "Yeah, it really does suck. I'm stuck in the States until this crap goes away." Hey, man, we're all stuck to some degree, so we definitely understand. Robert says any funds in a foreign bank account over $10,000 need to be reported to the U.S. Department of Treasury, IRS, if you are still a U.S. citizen and living abroad. It is a pain. Actually, it's not that hard. I got my taxes done last year, and it didn't seem to be hard. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of catch to it that, or maybe you had a problem. Yeah, Ross is talking about this one form called the F bar. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out. Yeah, that it wasn't really difficult for me at all. Oh, Bob. Hi, Bob. Late as usual. That's okay, man. No problem. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Eddie says, too much money is a double-edged sword. Too much desire leads to sickness. I would agree with that 100%. 100%. That's why I tell everybody I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. That's it. That's all. Todd, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. And I heard some news on the Elite Visa this morning. I certainly hope it pertains to you. As they were talking about letting people in, the first 500, I think, they were talking about letting people in. So I certainly hope you are going to be one of those people. Maybe you can get here by my birthday. That would be great. Addie says, yeah, agreed. Ross agreed. I agree. Asian Unscripted says, I lived in Saigon and Da Nang. Da Nang is only good if you need to be at the beach. Otherwise, Saigon is the place to be. Well, maybe I'll just have to check out two places then. Pure Gusso says 2022. We could have another it by 2022. I don't even plan like that anymore. My mind is more of the present, what I can do for myself and for people now. I don't really, my 10-year plan is to get me, to get myself in a position to where I don't have to get up and work every single day of my life for a living. You know what I mean? Because I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I work Saturdays and Sundays on these live streams. After I'm done with the live streams, then it takes me about 35 to 40 minutes to get everything tagged and everything up and running, and then I'm done with it. And see, and today, for example, when I'm done with that, I'm going to start editing this first video, which is going to be a long video about the Monday through Friday living as an expat, living and working in Thailand. And that's going to be work. Yesterday, I did a live stream. Yesterday, I went and recorded some new content for another video after the live stream was over with. Friday, I did a live stream. It was a holiday. So I literally work 7 days a week. And I have no problem with that right now. I have no issue with that. Because I'm trying to build something for myself. And by building something for myself, I'm incorporating the community as well. So I don't know. This is gonna be an interesting decade, boys. Interesting decade. Philippine Cowboy says, retire in the Philippines like a king for $500 a month. I've heard that 1,000 times. Eddie says, I've learned to have willpower because if party too hard, then I can go home to my condo knowing that whatever I enjoyed will still be there the next day. There you go. To that point, this weekend, we had a 3-day weekend. I could have easily taken off for a day and done a day trip somewhere, but I chose not to. I chose to stay here and do this in the hopes that our live streams like normal generate channel fund income, and that would just make whatever vacation I take in. It's never a full vacation for me because I'm always working while I'm on vacation in terms of video content, pictures, that kind of thing. So hopefully I'll be able to hit at least one spot that I've never been to before, and would be nice to hit two, to be honest with you. I'm not sure yet. We'll have a whole conversation on that. Bill though says Thailand has everything you need: ATM, KFC, and ladies. That's true. Ross says the allure of Thailand has to be the weather. We talked about that earlier. The number of things to see and do. We mentioned that, all within a very small country. You can drive from Bangkok to anywhere in Thailand in less than 15 hours. We didn't say that, but that's also true. Good point there. Robert says, thanks for the info, Ross and Jeremy. My accountant has made it sound more complicated. They often do. That's what happens. Pure Gusu says, how much money net worth is considered rich? I don't know. That's subjective, up to everybody's opinion. I don't know what somebody else would consider rich. Addie says, people worry too much about money in the West. Good luck with that. Ross says, F-bar is so easy. If you do not change banks, you can just about copy paste each year and just adjust for high balance. Paul Manafort. Okay, among other crimes. Okay. We don't want his name in here, and try not to talk about go to jail, Ross. I'm just going to bump that one. No disrespect at all, man. I don't want anything to do with politics or ex-politician or ex anything that has to do with today's politics. Stuck says Saigon and Ho Chi Minh City are the same place. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's why I was reaching. I was in the back of my brain when Asia Unscripted wrote that. I was like, that is the same place, right? It was really interesting. Eddie says, I will reach out to you, Ross, to get my retirement visa sorted. Yeah, reach out to Ross. Ross is a great guy. He'll tell you straight up, no BS, and you'll get your answers for sure. Dino says it was planned back in 2014, so it wouldn't surprise me if, yeah, that's possible. Rocco, so Jeremy, where are you when you retire income wise? When you are 70, is there some retirement money to be had in Thailand? No, hopefully, I have a couple things coming up that I'm putting a lot of time and energy into, and I hope that they work out. I don't believe YouTube is going to be a long-term source of revenue. I'm looking to make more money from America than I am from Thailand, but there are opportunities over here in Thailand to make money, and I found a couple of those, and we're going to try it out and see if it works. And hopefully, I'm not putting a number on it yet, Rocco. It's a very good, fair question. Like, what's your number, right? Right now, at this point in time, for me and the lifestyle that I live with, the things that I have to have, if I had $3,500 US a month coming in, I'd be set. I'd get on some kind of visa that I didn't have to work or any of that stuff. At $3,500 a month, I'd be traveling. I'd be living a good life. $3,500 a month. So it depends on where I'm going to stay. Also, Rocco, if something happens and I get really sick between now and then, have to go back to America, then obviously that number is going to change, and many other factors will change along with it. But that's a good question, man. Very good question. And I think there is money to be made. I know for a fact there's money to be made in Thailand. I just don't want to be one of these people that get caught using the internet to do it. I mean, a lot of these bars are using YouTube channels to go live and have PayPal streams coming in. That's completely against YouTube policy, and if anything qualifies as the P word, that's against the law in Thailand. So while it's looked over most of the time, and I hope no one gets in trouble, I certainly don't want to put myself in that position. At least I don't have the guts to do anything like that yet. Let me just say that. Ross is talking about other tax forms. Bob says, why is it I don't see how many likes there are? Always looks like mine's the only one. It's not. Everybody's is down like that because I forgot to press the button again. So sorry about that, Bob. But there are currently 30 likes, and we got about almost 60 people watching, or we did have. So if you hadn't hit the thumbs up button, please do so. It helps out tremendously. Let's see. Ross says rich is a relative term. Yep. Having a roof over my head, food in my tummy, clothes on my back makes me rich. I like that idea. Bob says, hang on. He has to fix the setting. Yeah, I got to fix that setting. Sorry about that. Gregory, what's up, man? Good evening to you, sir, from Brooklyn. Making some dinner and just joining in. What's the topic? Well, we were talking about the allure of Thailand and things that you normally wouldn't hear from expats. And I think we just heard a lot that you wouldn't normally hear from expats if you were looking at a allure of Thailand video. I talked about many of the allures of Thailand. Something I forgot to mention is the cost of living. That is a huge allure, but it can be a facade if you are the type of person that comes over here and you still, let's say you're an American, okay, and you come over here and you still have the American dollar in mind, the American lifestyle in mind. You're not gonna blend. You're not gonna try to assimilate in the Thai culture at all. If that happens, you're going to run into a lot of problems, especially financially, because the cost of living is not going to be cheaper. Where you find your cheaper cost of living is in your food, in your housing in general, electricity, phone bills. Those are just some examples I can think of that really benefit your cost of living expenses. If you're like me and you have to take medication, then you have to incur the cost of that medication. Some of that medication is cheaper than it is in the West. Some of it's more expensive. So you have to weigh everything out. That's why it's never good to do what I did. I got on a plane from the Philippines and just packed everything and moved to Thailand. But I knew before I got here that I had a good doctor that I could see. But I didn't know anything else, and just don't do what I did. Let's see. Gregory says, I just said that. Brian says, question, are there any restrictions or felonies that would stop someone from coming to Thailand? There are certain things that you can't have that will get you not a job in Thailand. But I don't think that that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. I know there are felonies that you cannot have on your record if you want to work in Thailand. And I think there are certain crimes and other things that you cannot have on your record if you want to, like a retirement visa, for example, or any kind of long stay visa. I think they're going to run a criminal background check on you. Ross says not that he's never heard, but I don't know for sure. Prep for it says if I don't retire in Thailand, then I'm going for 28 days every other month forever. I hear you, bro. I hear you, man. Let's see here. Yeah, how far we got to go on that, Robert? Just out of curiosity. Ross says bot is back to 31.34 again. It was 31.10 just last week. I wish I would understand what causes this change since nothing has happened over the past week. Good point. Eddie says, I sit in a Thai curry food court with cold beer and watch world go with people in markets while others in Oz and big house with four walls and a big screen TV with mortgage stress being nagged to mow along. I agree. The stress of living in Thailand is far less than the West, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion. I think that there are easier ways to do things. Let me give you an example. Paying bills in Thailand is the easiest thing you'll ever do. As long as you got the money and a bank account and a cell phone, you don't like paying bills. I don't pay any bill. I don't go to any store, go to any location to pay any of my bills. I pay my rent through my bank app. I pay my bike payment through my bank app. I pay my cell phone through my bank app. I pay my doctor through my bank app. I pay everything through the bank app. And moving money around, if you have different banks in Thailand, it's so easy, so easy. You would be. It's just the simpleness of life over here is really outstanding, and I would have to say that it's pretty cool. Brian says, I'm new to this, but I was stationed in the Philippines. I really want to go to Thailand, but have and was wondering what I would need to do to get there. I don't think if you're coming as a tourist, I don't think that matters at all. If you're coming as a tourist, at least not now. But as far as the long stay visas, you may run into some problems. Go to integrity-legal.com, Brian, and get their phone number. Call them. They have American speaking, or they have Thai attorneys that speak good English, and they also have American. The director is an American attorney that will do a phone consultation with you for free. So go over there, just call him up and ask him. Tell him exactly what you just said or what you just asked me, and he will give you a definite, I'm sure. If he doesn't, he will give you more information than I can. I can promise you that. Fred says, hello from Reading, Pennsylvania. USA, safe travels to all out there. Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be an even worse idea, Ross, because GoFundMe is looking for, I don't know. Whatever they do, I hope they're successful. I just don't want people to get in trouble. That's all. Stuck in Florida says there's people that work 30 plus years at a job and don't have $3,500 a month in retirement. That's true. That's why I'm going to need several streams of revenue. And again, it's my 10-year plan. It starts on Tuesday, my birthday. It starts on Tuesday, and I've got a decade to see what I can put together. It's going to be interesting, for sure. Or even make that while they're working. More than 50% of America makes less that on the job. I hear you. I agree with you. But that's my goal, and it's okay for me to have a goal. Robert says, I am preparing to move to Thailand in the next 4 years and trying to get everything done before the transition. That's a good idea. The very first thing I would recommend is, and you may have already done this, but I would definitely recommend coming and staying at least 2 to 3 months before you make the jump to come here. Simply because coming here and looking around, seeing everything, checking out a few different locations to live. Maybe you're a city guy like me and you want to be in Bangkok, or maybe you like the relaxed atmosphere a little bit more, so you go outside the city like Rayong. that's a whole different environment. You know, it's pretty cool. Brother McGee says, "Hey Fred." Ross says, "Here's a fun fact: not all expats are bitter, nor are all expats a bunch of alcoholics." I have definitely. I don't know why you put that out there, but I've not said either one. Nope, hadn't said either one. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't even drink alcohol, and some expats are bitter. There's a lot of expats that are bitter. Let's face it. Reality is what it is, and not all expats are bitter. I agree with your statement, but for the most part, you can find more bitter than not. Mango says, "Ross, I watch the bot every day and have noticed when the U.S. stock market has a bad day, the bot rises." Interesting. Let's see. Eddie says, "Robert, good plan, mate. I've worked hard the last 3 years to move back to Pattaya next year. It's worth chasing your dream of freedom." That's it. That's all I'm chasing is a dream of freedom. And that's what my 10-year plan envisions. It's a dream of some type of freedom. Doesn't mean I won't still be working. Just means that I have a lot more freedom than I have now. I like mango. Trent says, "Love your stuff. I assume you're talking to me. Thank you very much, Trent. I appreciate that very, very much." Let's see. Trent says, "Wish I could come get away from Canadian winter." Put yourself together a plan, man, and get over here when they open the borders and start letting people come in and all that stuff. You should be just fine. I'm not a veteran, Bob, but I get my meds delivered. So you can get your meds delivered. I don't think Thailand is the country. I'm not. Don't hold me to this, but for veterans, I don't think Thailand is the country to necessarily be in, because I'm not sure how many, if any, VA hospitals are, or VA approved hospitals are here in Thailand. I know they're loaded in the Philippines. So, or they have, when I say loaded, they have the accessibility in the Philippines for sure. Are you experienced as one of those popular ownership groups from Pat says live streaming from bars is the way of the future? It is, and all his bars will adopt this model. Then they probably will. I'm sure they will. But I just hate to see anybody go get in some kind of trouble for doing it that way. If you're talking to a bar owner that owns a bunch of bars in Pattaya, they're probably covered in Pattaya anyway, so they wouldn't have to worry about anything coming down from Thailand. It would just be through whatever the hosting site was. And there are ways, make your own website and do your own thing. You can do that too. It doesn't have to be YouTube. But I think it's we have another PayPal. Thank you very much, sir. I won't put this I won't put his name up again, but that's a second contribution of $10, and I appreciate your contributions very, 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 very much. Let's see. Yeah, I think all the bars will adopt the model already experienced until it plays itself out, and it'll play itself out rather quickly. So what people have to do, the people that capitalize really on that kind of experience will be the people who are innovators, who come up with new ways to do stuff online legally, that push it beyond just, hey, buy me a drink and that kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. And I'm nothing against the people that are doing it. Like I said, I hope they succeed. I hope it all works out for everybody that's trying to make a future for themselves. Max says, how would you rate Thailand for dental work? Very good. Very good. I've had a lot of dental work done here, and it's very good. I assume it's quite a bit less money than US, but how about quality? It is definitely less money. And it is the quality that I experienced having my dental work done here was outstanding, absolutely outstanding, more professional than the dentist I was seeing in America, and about 1/3 of the cost. That's honest to goodness truth. So dental work here, just make sure you go to the right people. All you have to do is ask around, and you'll find the dental work here is great. What's Ross say, JC? You can also go to 7-Eleven and pay phone, internet, power, and cell phones. That's true. Dental quality is very good. Yes, it is. Power bills are so low in Thailand, and rent still blows my mind. Philthos said, talking about the bot change, he said, things have happened to change it. The country's relative stability is a factor in currency valuation. Think of events in Bangkok last 2 weeks. Good point. There you go, Mac. Ross is talking about. I said 1/3, saying 40%. So we're right in the same ballpark there. Brian says, thanks. Robert says, I plan on selling the big stuff and giving the rest away. I took a vow of poverty years ago so I can appreciate not being owned by things. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. That is like super duper duper awesome. All right, where was I at here? Explover. Mac Dental is great. Last time I was there, wife and I went to a dental place, and the dude studied at Hopkins, and his wife at UCLA. That's pretty cool. Eddie says even Aussies go to Thailand for cheap operations because health system in Australia is too expensive. Same thing in America, by the way. Dental prices are amazing. $40 US for a filling. Yeah, very low. Trent says another reason I need to go there. Dental. It's good. Dental care is good here. High quality work for sure. Ross says medical care in Thailand is very good. I agree. If you have insurance or cash, Bangkok Hospital brand is great. That is one thing to think about depending on where you want to live in Thailand. That's a good point. Very good point, Ross. I had heart surgery in Bangkok Heart Hospital, said Explorer. It must have been successful because you're still with us. And for the new people joining, if you have not yet hit the thumbs up button, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sorry, my nose is running so much, guys, but I'm going to get a tissue right now and fix that problem because I'm tired of sniffing. I'm just tired of sniffing. All right. Now, back to where I was. 300 baht teeth cleaning. Yep. Stuck says, Philippine Cowboy, sorry I had to remove your comment because of that one phrase. Ashley C. Hello, Ashley. In 2 years, I'll have the funds for 12 months to travel Southeast Asia. It's so close, but so far. Mini retirement. I like that, mini retirement. That's pretty cool. And I wish you all the best on your travels for sure. Bob says, I was there 70 to 76, so I guess it's different now. Yeah, it's probably a little bit different. God, my nose is running. Gregory says, my end game, hopefully, P-Town, own 2 laundromats, read and live in paradise, keeping it attainable and simple. May slither into investing in a small. Sorry, that's my beautiful typhoon makes. Keeping it attainable, simple, may slither into investing in a small bar, but not expecting to bank on it. That's a good idea. I've always heard the quickest way to go broke in Thailand is to open up a bar, but I don't know. A lot of people make money from bars too. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay, where am I and why? Yeah, there we go. Jonathan says, I had heart surgery in Bangkok Heart Hospital for real, question mark. Eddie, I think Ross was referring to man who drank too much in Pattaya. Probably. But there's a lot of alcoholics everywhere that are expats. I would say I would say the vast majority. This is my story, not Ross's story. If he knows different people than I do, and if he says that in his experience, there's a lot less alcoholics and whatever else he said on that comment, then that's his experience, and he's welcome to share it. Robert Mack, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yep, had a surgery called Wolf Maze. That's interesting. Trent says, I'm waiting. I hear you, buddy. Hey, Robert Mack in Asia, says Bob. And let me see if I can find my little cursor here. Robert says, thanks for your insights. My wife is from Isan, so part of our time will be there, and the rest of our time will be on the coast somewhere. That sounds like a really good plan. Jotham says, when did you have the surgery? What hospital? I think he just told you, in Bangkok Heart Hospital. Tim said, hey, everybody. And hey, Tim, good to see you, man. Hadn't seen you since, I don't even know that we saw you last weekend, but it's good to see you, bro. Dino says, how about starting up a place on, yeah. I don't see that happening. That entire soy is pretty much claimed already by a group of individuals. So they pretty much got what it takes over there. Trent says, what's it cost to build a home there these days? Again, area dependent. I don't know. I have no idea what it costs to build a home there. Stuck in Florida says there are veteran groups in Thailand that can be very helpful for any veteran retiring. There you go. Thank you, Stuck. I appreciate that. Pre says, I visited Pattaya and it was 2 third world for me. Really? I went to Bangkok afterwards and loved it. I'm a city boy, so Bangkok was better for me. Well, there you go. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but Pattaya is a third world? I don't know. That one doesn't register with me, and I'm big on liking my infrastructure and all that stuff. But hey, to each his own. Explorer said, Jonathan, 2009 Bangkok Heart Hospital, doctor, whoever that doctor is. Dino says, yeah, I'll leave that to Dino. Ross says, at Thailand is a developed nation, not third world. I would agree with that. Eric says, last 3 times I've been to a dentist here, I swear they deliberately broke my teeth to have something to work on. It's possible, man. You never know what goes on in America, right? Michael says, hello, Jeremy. Hello, Michael. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by the live stream this morning, very early. Very much appreciate it. Dino says, I got full porcelain front crown for 450 Australian at Pattaya Hilton Shopping Mall back in 2008, and it's still great. Would cost me around $2,000 if I did it back in Sydney. It's a very good point, Dino. Very good. Trent, there's your answer from Ross. And Stuck says, right now, those bars that are online are just trying to survive. It'll be interesting. Yes, I agree 100%. Which is why I'm pulling for them. Like, I'm totally pulling for them. I hope that it works. I do. And I'd be very interested to see what comes out on the other side of the innovation part of that. Robert says, stuck in Florida. Do you know of any U.S. veteran? Hang on, I got to find my cursor. You know of U.S. veteran groups in Thailand? I think you just said that, if I'm not mistaken. Ross says now is not a good time to invest in foreigners bar, but you can build a nice locals bar. Attracting Thais and expats will do very well. Robert says, thanks, Stuck in Florida. I will have a USMC and railroad pension, so I am excited about our move. You should be good. Ross says, just look at what Wolf May surgery is. Holy cow, that looks horrible. Gotta love Thailand. What's up, man? Good to see you. Addie says, seeing alcoholics not pay by bill and cup and run off. Ladies chasing down the road. So funny. Great entertainment. Yeah, it's great entertainment, but it's not great entertainment for the people that are actually doing it. I can assure you of that. Philippine Cowboy says, Robert Nago, when you planning to make the move? Good question. Ross says, if it helps on the cost to build a home, my large house costs less than $100K to build, but we had family working for us and bought all supplies without any middleman. Tim says, hey, Jeremy, you ever heard of a section of Bangkok called Onnut? I definitely have. There's a BTS station down there. Trent says, thanks, Ross. Trent says, yes. Okay. Addie says, I can't wait to sit at the bar with a mate, have a cold beer, and joke at people's different walking styles. That's funny. Trent, so how do I connect to them? So what do you must be having a conversation with Ross again, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll let you talk to Ross about that. Robert says, I plan on retiring from the railroad in 3 to 4 years, then moving to Thailand full time. My wife and I will be back to Thailand December 2021. Good for you, man. Walking ATM for Sick Buffalo. What's up? Not sure what the allure of Thailand is this day and age. So many restrictions. Yeah, that's true, but there's a lot of restrictions in a lot of places, and I wasn't specifically talking about the allure today in Thailand. I was just talking about the overall allure in general. Let's see. Us Aussies have a wacky sense of humor. That's cool. And Ross tells you how you can contact him. So, really, Michael, what's up, man? How is the tourist sentiment? Well, right now the tourist sentiment is almost non-existent. There seems to be a few tourists in here, and there seems to be some Thai elites with the elite visa card that are coming back, according to the news that I've read. Philippine Cowboys talking about his pension. So cool. We don't use any of that stuff in this chat room. Sorry. Are you experienced? I stayed at QUI Hotel on the love the area, and the hotel is supposed to be hotel was 40 USD a night. That's not a bad price if it was a really nice hotel. Ross says John 10 was crowded, so it looked good. Tim says, retired working for you, said on his channel that Unnut was a real good section to live in. The rent seemed reasonable for a condo. Yeah, that's if you got that kind of money. It's not that's downtown. Well, it's closer to downtown. You know, I saw a thumbnail that said $545 a month rent. So for me, that's out of my budget. My rent here is around just at $300. So a month that would be out of my budget. That's just the I guess that's the difference in budgets and all that stuff. There's been a lot of new Thai vloggers jumping on the scene here in of late, and a lot of good information coming around, and a lot of information that may not be completely accurate. But hey, you can always ask, and you can always check for yourself. Mark says, just out of curiosity, being an English teacher, how much would you charge to teach young Thai English? Thanks. Like privately? Probably I would do I'd probably do a 90-minute session for $1,500, somewhere in that neighborhood. If it's private, I would do that. Yeah, 90 minutes. Yeah, that's a fair price. I wouldn't go any higher than $300 a month for sure. Yep, I'm not walking ATM for sure. Robert says, retired law enforcement, runs with my family too. Best wishes. Ross says, JC, how many square meters would you say your condo is? I would guess between 30 to 40. No, it's actually 28 square meters. 28. You've seen it. So, yeah, it's about 28 square meters. It's very, very small. Yeah, it did. It seemed, it looked larger until I got everything unpacked. Yeah. Our experience, yes, that is true. That is the place. That is the number, about 50 USD. Ross says your place was small. Your old place was smaller. Yeah, my old place was smaller, but it had a big. You're talking about in Rayon. It had. It was just one big room with a bathroom attached to it. There was nothing else. Let's see. Stuck says, Addie John, I haven't seen a comment from you in a while, but I see that one. Pre says, that website do you use to find apartments under $400 a month? Or what website? I literally type in Thai apartments or Thai condos, and whatever website you go to, there's so many of them. You can use renthub.th.com, I believe, is a good one, and they'll give you an estimate. But the truth is, until you hit the lobby of the hotel that you're going to be living in, until you hit the lobby of the condo that you're going to be living in, you're not going to know all the fees, how much your deposit is going to have to be, all that stuff. It's best to use a website as a tool, but I have found this place I found on a reference from a person that I was working with. The place in Rayon, I just simply picked out from a person that I was working with. And my first apartment in Bangkok, I found it because I just got off on every BTS and MRT stop until I found something that was affordable. And I had a good apartment the first time. Eddie says, the lure of Thailand is to get away from Australia, which is depressing. That's a good one. Tim says, that's the way it always works. Looks bigger till your stuff gets in. That's true. Philippine Cowboy Robert says, I have a girlfriend in the Philippines going on 4 years trying to get back there, but may have to go to Vietnam or Thailand and wait it out. I'm thinking those places will be opening up first. So am I. Philippine Cowboy, so am I. I have reasons for that too. Tim says, Addie, America is not much better these days. That's no comment there. Trent says Thai price and Frank price, correct. Cash speaks, and barter is a skill. That's true. Nothing to argue on that at all. Eddie says, just watch TV and see Western women putting us men down constantly. That is depressing. So tired of it constant that men are bad. Robert says, I was separated from my wife for about 9 months. That was tough. Thank God for Line. Line is an application used here in Thailand quite often. So that's pretty good. Stuck in Florida says, I can't wait to travel somewhere that I can't understand a damn word they're saying and spend about 2 months there. I love it. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it. Very good way to look at it. Let me see where we are on today's goal for contributions. And if we're close, we'll keep talking until we get them. So if we get them, let's see, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we got 50 to go. That's like $10 from 5 people or $5 from 20 people, however you want to cut it. Very easy. Cannot say the C word. Can't say it. Joe, no disrespect to you. I know you're new in this chat. I'm just telling you. Can't say it in the chat or in the comment. Let's see. Where was I? Joe Fan says, hard to decide between Thailand and Philippines. Tell me why I have to choose Thailand. You don't? If you like infrastructure and modernization, if you want to be in the developing country or developed pretty much country, come to Thailand. If you want to be in a true third world country, a country that is less safe than Thailand, that's a lot more, how do I say, I don't want to say not as good because that's not true. Philippines, yeah, it is cheaper to live in the Philippines, but you also, for that cheapness, you give up a lot of good things that you could have. So for me, Thailand is what it is. Ross says Thailand does not have I'll just let that one go. It is cheaper, for sure. Let's see what we got going on down here. Thank you. Good arguments. I wouldn't call them arguments. I just call them points of interest. For me, living in the Philippines, I mean, having internet, good cell service, and that kind of thing is a big problem in the Philippines, and that poses a big problem for me when I'm in the Philippines. So I choose Thailand because the Philippines are just not up there yet. I enjoy many aspects of the Philippines, many aspects of the Philippines. Beautiful beaches, beautiful places, beautiful women, and some very beautiful people. But there are also some very not beautiful people there as well, like anywhere else. Stuck says, I can get a nicer place in Thailand than I can get in the Philippines for $300 a month, in my personal opinion. I think you're right. Because I lived in an apartment or in a condo that I was paying, I think $500 a month for, or $400 a month for, in the Philippines, and it was not nearly as nice as the apartment I'm living in now. And the apartment I'm living in now is not anything spectacular. The condo itself is spectacular. There's a whole bunch of things here, but nothing, nothing really spectacular. Let's see. Philippine Cowboy says, I won't say the PI is that bad. Check out BGC and Makati, nice places, and they're expensive to live at. Makati was okay when I went there. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it was okay. It's good. It's decent. Ross says at pre, you will have to go to both and decide for yourself. One man's safety is another man's nightmare. That could be true, I guess. Michael, what's up, Michael? When you first got there, was the language an issue for you? You came from the Philippines where most people speak English. Actually, most of the people can speak some English. I think it's a fallacy that people just that have been, it's been spread by word that everybody in the Philippines can speak English. I assure you, not everybody in the Philippines can speak English. However, the good news is, to your point, and this is not to be argumentative towards your point at all, but towards to your point, most people can speak enough English to have a conversation with you. Now, the younger the generation of Filipino, the more English they're likely to speak, and the location. So if they're in a touristy area or big city, they're more likely to speak that much more English. The language barrier here was not hard for me because I just pointed and waved and used Google Translate until I found out what I needed to find out. Let's see. Filtho says, and to Finn, Thailand doesn't have the random volcanoes. That's also a very good point. Very good point. And on the side, well, I'm in Bangkok now, so I don't know if that would apply. Scratch what I was getting ready to say. Joe Fan says, for me, the attraction is the women, scuba, and food. Food, Thailand wins by a mile. Scuba, probably even. Women, Philippines wins. I can see that. Because the demeanor of the women in the Philippines is a lot different from the demeanor of the women in Thailand. Thing I would say is the after relationships are two very different. They happen two very different ways, in my opinion. And I would rather be having an after relationship in Thailand, living, than I would to be have a relationship in the Philippines, dead by family members. Addie says boyfriends of Phil women can get very jealous. I think from what I heard, that's true. The language will always be an issue to Thailand. It's a difficult language to learn. Lucky many Thais speak a little English, especially the younger generations. True. Mac has a random question, but have you seen many fist fights between Western men at bars in Thailand? I have, but it's not. It's usually taken care of pretty quick, and it's rare to see, at least for me, to see. But then again, I'm not a late night party guy, so I don't know. Are your experiences, Joe Finn, that speculative Thai women are hot, in my opinion? Well, of course. Roger says, anyone who has a Thai girlfriend, I have a song recorded in Thai. You could probably score points with your mate if you send them a link to it. If anyone's interested, let me know. I listened to that song. I had no idea what it was saying, but it seemed to be a very lovely song, I must say, Roger McGee. Very lovely. Pre says, stuck in the USA without being able to travel to Bangkok really angers me. I understand. I would feel the same way. Agree, it's a matter of taste. Eddie says, Mac, lots of fights on YouTube of drunk Westerners, too cheeky to Thai bouncers, then it's on. Always walk away. Always walk away. 100% always walk away. Eddie says, Isan nightclub in Jantien, lots of traditional singing and dancing. Interesting. Oh, did we kick out a troll? The Flying Club is definitely a real thing. I've had many videos on it, Joe. Hadn't heard a lot about it lately, but it's certainly a possibility. So, Michael says, can you please elaborate on the post-relationship issue in the Philippines? Very interested to hear more. Is it that bad? Yes, it's that bad. My last relationship I was in the Philippines, when I left, the girl made a YouTube video claiming a bunch of lies about me, but it was induced by American expats. American expats that didn't like me because my YouTube channel had more views than theirs. That's that simple. That simple. Very jealous, very jealous people in the Philippines, in my opinion. And as we discussed yesterday in the live stream, my pin right, or my pin, it's spelled BPEN. Anyway, it means no worries, right? My pin right. So no worries is not really a fundamental culture block of the Philippines, I can assure you. Not to bash on the Philippines or not to bash on the Filipinas. That was just a very bad experience I have. There's Lyle again. We love Lyle. Are you experienced? You miss Thailand when you are standing in front of a space heater in your condo to stay warm. I know you do. I know you do. All right, guys, we got about 8 minutes left. To my moderators, if you guys want to throw something out there in terms of challenge, you can do it. Whatever you want to do. I'm very interested to see if we could pull in the last 50 for today and hit our goal. We certainly hit it yesterday, thanks to people like Lyle and others that were great. And I appreciate them very much. So we'll go to at least 2 hours and see if we can get our goal, and then we'll wrap it up because I'm very thankful for what we got already. Addie says, I heard a story of an expat in Phil who lent money to another expat because he could not pay back the loan. Was harm done. Never. Yeah, don't lend people money. Ooh, Trent, that's cold, man. 4:20. What's up, man? Philippines Cowboy says, got to go. You be good. Safe out there. You too, bud. Take care, man. Been listening on earphone while driving. Says 4:20. Cool. There's the PayPal link if you guys want to help the channel reach its goal today. Joe says, yep, same old. Lyle just said Griffith. I don't know what that means. Stuck said Filipinos remind me very much of Latin American ladies as far as the before, during, and after relationship goes. It's a very interesting concept right there, Stuck. I like that. I mean about the heater, Joe says. BLWUK says, have you considered moving to Vietnam as it's cheaper to live? Getting more popular with many expats. Cheers. I have considered it. Don't want to do it yet because there's just too many unanswered questions at this point, and right now traveling there would be a problem anyway. But consideration has been made, and that will play itself out however it plays itself out. Gregory says, yo, break it down to me like a 2-year-old. What's up with the expats not getting along in paradise? Strange. It's all ego. That's pretty much what it breaks down. Like, if somebody appears to have a higher social status, or if somebody appears to be successful at doing something, whether they actually are or not, somebody's going to have a problem with you. And that's just the way it goes. It's sad, Gregory. It's very sad, very sad. And it says, can you expand on Latin American ladies? We can do that at some point, I'm sure. There's Teespring. If you guys want to get some DoMoreLife merch, definitely something there. Lyle says he was the one that matched me. Ah, gotcha. Trent says, take care. Great content, bro. Keep it up. Maybe see you soon if it opens. Sounds good, man. Take care of yourself. Stay warm. Stuck says, Addie John, let's just say they're very passionate, which can be a good thing or it could be a nightmare. I agree. Joe Fan says, expat fights is alcohol plus ego. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be ego. Thank you, Ari Experience, for putting the channel member. If you'd like to become a channel member, you can do that at the link that he put up. Joe Fan says, if you have no haters, you're doing something. Yeah, if you have no haters, you're doing something wrong. And that's a good point, Joe. Very good point. Need 2 more thumbs up. So on your way out, guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. That will get us to 50 thumbs up, and I really appreciate that. Eddie says, be careful what I wish for. Yep, definitely. Is Steve-O still in Thailand? Thanks. I don't know, to be honest with you, BLW. I haven't spoken to him in probably 6 or 7 months. But if I can find him, I'd love to do an update with him. I guess I just need to call him and find out. We got to the 50 likes, guys. That's good. That's a good thing. Joe Fed says, hit that thumbs up button already. Peace out. Thanks for coming, Joe. I really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. We got about 4 minutes left, and $50 to go for the financial goal of the channel. So that's entirely up to those of you that want to contribute to the channel and to things that are coming up and to things that are planned in November, all that stuff. We appreciate it. Roger says, thumbs up, numb nuts. I love it. Joe Fan says, be safe for the whole next week. We're looking forward to Sunday lives. Good. I'll be here. Don't worry. Eddie says, love, affection. It's fun. Yeah, so Stuck says, Eddie John, yes, but I do love the affection given by Filipinos. I have to agree with that. They are the most affectionate women I have ever experienced in my life. I can agree with that for sure. Got people saying hi to each other down here in the bottom. I don't really know what to say to close the live chat out, but I would say, well, Eddie says the rugby league grand final on today in Australia, so I guess that's what he's going to be doing. And that would be cool. I hope you guys at the beginning of this video, that ends another edition of DoMoreLife. Good week for y'all. And actually, yeah, that's pretty much it. But don't forget, this live stream was based on the Allure of Thailand, which we talked about early. Cody his ranch back. If he wants it, I will, but I haven't seen him since he left the first comment, so he's probably sleeping it off, man. I'm actually not going to close down right now because we have 41 people in the live stream, so I'm going to keep talking for a little while, guys. I can't close down a live stream with that many people still sitting here listening to me, so we'll have to keep going for a minute, for sure. And maybe that'll help out the the channel fund as well. I don't know. We'll see. What did you say, Stuck? Eddie, you'll hardly ever have a Thai lady come up, jump on your lap, and give you hugs and kisses and treat you like you were the best thing ever. I can see that's probably true. And then again, there are probably some good, soft-hearted Thai women here. But the main thing is, one thing people don't understand, the cultures are so different. So different. Joe says, tell me about the allure of the Philippines while we're still here. Well, yeah, Lyle, I agree. Cody must have had a terrible headache this morning. The allure of the Philippines. The allure of the Philippines is the landscapes, the places you can see, some beautiful places in the Philippines. If you want to go to my Instagram, it's in the link below. I have a ton of pictures from the Philippines. Beautiful places, beautiful women, and they always have at least in the beginning, the women always start out very nice in the Philippines. I can assure you for that. So long, farewell, and that's a good night. Who knows where this is from? All right, experience. I appreciate you coming by, brother. Eddie says, bar scene, beach scene, all for me. Love life. Nothing wrong with that. Walking ATM says, I love the allure of Indonesia. Amazing. I haven't been there, but that's one place I would love to go for sure. Joe, I've done a number of this. Talking to Joe Finn, I've done a number of videos that relate back and forth between the differences of the Philippines and Thailand, and I've compared the women, and I've compared the cost of living and all that stuff. Yeah, I've done a ton of comparables. So I would just encourage you, if you haven't seen them, I would encourage you to watch those and get my, general gist, my general opinion on some of those things. And when it comes to allures, both countries have tremendous allures. Boracay and Walking ATM says Boracay and Palawan are still the best areas in the Philippines. So nice. I would agree with that. Mango says Halloween this year is on a Saturday. Any plans? Possibly. I don't know. Possibly. I want to try to do something for my birthday, but that's on a Tuesday, so I don't know how that's going to work. Stuck in Florida says, Addie John, yes, but I like Thai ladies because of their simple nature and they seem to get over minor arguments quickly, unlike Filipinas. That's what I was trying to say earlier, but I couldn't get it out in that language, Stuck in Florida. So thank you very much for adding that. Thank you very, very much for adding that. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Filipinos will give you something called tempo, and that means they won't speak to you at all until they're ready to. Sometimes that's an hour, sometimes that's 3 days. You have to be willing to live with it. Max says, do you ever drink tap water in Thailand? I did a whole video. It's about 30 minutes long on Friday about drinking water in Thailand. I encourage you to watch that video. Answers all your questions about drinking tap water. Roger says Halloween bikini run on Pattaya Beach. That would be nice. Joe Fan says she gave me 10 hours of tempo. I gave her a week. I hear you, brother. Let's see. But are you experienced? My first question to all Pinays is, how long is your tempo? That's I like that. Walking ATM says, I still connect better with European ladies, such as ones from Ukraine. They're hot. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. 20 past 4 says, families in my area in Australia have already got their Halloween gear out in the front yards. When I was a kid, none celebrated Halloween in my early 30s. So Philo ladies can be stubborn, but Thai ladies let go because of Buddha. But I'm not sure Buddha, but you know, there's a link to the video that you were asking about for the water. Mac, I think that was Mac that was asking. Robert just put up. You can check it out. Stuck says I've spent 5 times the amount of time in the Philippines as I have in Thailand. So I know the Filipinos better, just my experience with a few Thai ladies, not from a bar. Good. Joe says, okay, Jeremy, thanks for another live. Going to watch the beginning now. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you stopping by, man. And good luck watching the replay. So it's 2:05. We got 54 thumbs up. We added $50 to the channel fund today, which is always helpful. I appreciate that very much. Always looking for 100, but there is Robert has thrown up the final link to PayPal stream. So if you are interested in contributing a small amount to the channel fund, we greatly appreciate it. And if not, I still appreciate you being a part of the live stream today. And really appreciate you guys taking part. It was a real good Sunday. We had a lot of people in here, and that sounds good to me. So I think at this point, there's no reason to continue on with the stream. Eddie says, I must go to Phil one day for the experiences. Yes, you must. Stuck says the World Series keeps distracting. That's okay, man. You being in here is better than you not being in here. So whatever happens, brother. No big deal. On your way out, hit the thumbs up button, guys. And that's it. That's going to do it for the live streams. I will have a video for you. It will come out tomorrow about 6:45 a.m. on in Thailand, which that should be about 7:45 p.m. roughly on the East Coast. Check out my very small YouTube channel for Thailand misadventures. Our experience says it, and he does have some. Stay happy, mate. I'm doing my best, Eddie. And Stuck says, I think everyone should travel to as many places as possible. Lord knows I agree with that, Stuck, for sure. And there's a link to our experiences channel. You guys want to go check him out. I want to thank all you guys. If Lyle, if you're still in here, I really appreciate what you did yesterday. That was huge. And Griffin, also want to tell you that was huge. So I really, really appreciate everything that you guys have done. I appreciate this DoMoreLife family more than you could possibly imagine. And we're going to see what happens with this new series I'm going to be putting out. And hopefully you will like it so much that... See, episode 1 is not going to be that great. Episode 2 is going to be a little bit better. But this week, when I start recording tomorrow morning, is going to be a whole... I'm going to add some... I have a plan. Let's just put it that way. I have a plan. So, anyway, I love you guys. And no matter what you do today, please be sure to do more life. Thank you. See ya. Peace.